Okay, this recording is to show the process for the handoff essentially from design to construction. And in this case, it's going to be from design and the files that we're putting in the standard project folder, displaying them as cross sections and volumes in the AGTEK product. So this is the model as it is in the design file. And according to the CAD manual, what we're doing is we're having everyone deliver the projects in this standard file format. However, within the 3D deliverables, there are specific files that we're asking designers to put in there. One is the 2D line work, which is the AMG 2D design file. The other is the 3D brake lines, which is the AMG 3D design. And then we're also asking them to put in there the XML of the existing surface and the proposed roadway surface, as well as the XML of the controlling alignment. That would be the center line of your project, and it has the profiles in it. And in this case, this job has two state roads, 61 and 98. Okay. So this is the 3D deliverables folder populated according to a design. Now, in order to bring this up into the AGTEK product, what we did is we got an evaluation copy of the AGTEK product, and I have it downloaded here under AGTEK. And when you deliver it, it gives you obviously the software. It gives you a PDF file with some lessons in it. And then basically, that's what I use to do this testing. And I copied what was in that 3D deliverables folder over into this file as well so that I could test it. And so you see the same 6 files. There's 2 additional ones here, which are the cross-section reports from the actual cross-sections of the 2 roadways. They're not necessary, but I brought them over here just in case I wanted to test importing those as well. So I'm going to launch the AGTEK product, and the first thing it asks me for is a key, and this is a licensing agreement that we have, evaluation with them. And then once the product comes open, I'm going to open up a new file to import this data into. So I'm going to choose new and then ask for a job name and a builder, so on and so forth. I can just skip across this. And the AGTEK product loads. And it has several different modes here, which I'm not going to really go through. I'm going to touch a few of these. What I mainly want to do is document the process. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to File, Import, and I'm going to import just one of these alignment files. So this is the State Road 61 file. And when I choose Import, it verifies that this is the information I want to import, and I just choose Import. It finds that it's US survey feet. And now I'm sitting here looking at my alignment. I can validate it. I can see where my controlling PIs are, my PCs and PTs, and so on and so forth. And each component is what I'm looking at here. The next thing I'm going to do is import the existing surface. So I'm going to go to File, Import. I'm going to find the existing surface.xml file. And when I choose Import, it switches to this import mode. And this is important because this is really just looking at the XML file, but it's not been imported for use into AGTEK. So in order to do that, you have to first set the surface type that you're importing to. So this would be an existing, and there are several different ones, not really a lot, but there's, I guess, 5 different ones here. And then you have different things that you can import. You can import perimeters, data lines, brake lines, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to import first a perimeter. And what it's doing, it says in this file there is boundary elements and there's triangle elements or tin elements. So I'm going to hit the boundaries, and then I'm going to just choose this little button, Send To. And that puts that perimeter in this existing slot. And then I'll change this to data lines, and then I'll choose the triangles, and it highlights them all, and I'm going to send that to the existing. And now it wants to know, for display purposes, what contour interval I want to look at. So I'm just going to leave it at 1 and choose OK. And now this is the surface imported into the AGTEK product. And if I wanted to, I could come in here and click on things and edit them. If I click on a contour, you can validate just the contours here, and it has all the elevations. But I'm just going to move forward, and then I'm going to choose the file, import again, and this time I'm going to import the proposed model. And when I choose import, it goes to the import mode again. And now I'm going to switch this to design, and I'm going to select the perimeter again. And then in the CAD file there will be 3 data types. There's boundaries, break lines, and tins. And this is the proposed as it was delivered. So I'll just add the boundary to the perimeter, and then I'll add as data lines the remaining 2 break lines. So I'm going to send that. And then the last one is the tin. I'm going to send that to the file. And now for this one, I'm going to set this interval to 0.25 or 1/4 of a foot. And I'll choose OK. And now I'm looking at this plan view of this in 1/4 foot intervals. And I can click on each one of these, and it tells me what that elevation is. But now this is where you can start evaluating it. Immediately, you can go to this 3D view. And what this 3D view shows you here is the overview of the plan kind of overlaid, but then it shows you the 3D view too. And you can move around. This car is where you're located in the plan. So if I click to this intersection down here, it basically moved me down there. Now there is some help here, but you have a way to move around over here with this thing. The hotkey that's important is this B. It rotates you to a sky view type thing where you can actually drive. And then you can use your arrow keys to kind of move around this view. And so if you want to drive this vehicle up this roadway and just kind of analyze it, you can go like this, just hit the up arrow key, or you can navigate with these, obviously these manipulator buttons over here. And if you don't want to see that overview, you can just hit the O key and it will turn that off, and then you can kind of drive along it a little closer here. And right now you're seeing this color coded for cut and fill. So everything, and I don't remember what the values are, I think it's right here. This tells you the cut fill, and I don't remember if cut is on the top, I think it is, and fill. So this would all be fill, and this would be a lot of cut information. So it's automatically shading it according to that. And this is more for the contractor to be able to visualize what's going on. But what's important to me is being able to look at cross sections. So I'm going to go to this highway mode. I'm also going to want to validate the alignment a little bit. So once I'm in here, this is the highway mode from the 3D view. I just went to this highway mode. And then I can hit this V for vertical, and it will show me the profile that I imported. So I can validate this according to what the designer gave me. And if you know, there's chances to edit, but this is all for just importing the data and validating it. And then the other thing that you can do is create a surface along this alignment to sort of cut cross sections along here. So if I hit the surface tool, it tells me that I've got this vertical COGO, vertical offset, and that I could be using the existing and proposed here for surfaces are the 2 that I have. And then the station interval that I want to create this surface from is every 10 feet. And so I'm just going to choose OK. And now it's created this surface. You don't see it in the background, but then if you go to this profile mode, you can see the profile and the alignment. And then you can go to this view right here, which is the station generator. And what this does is it creates cross sections. So let's say I wanted to create 50-foot cross sections, send it to the highway, and use the alignment State Road 61 view, the existing and the design surfaces that I have out there, and then set this. This is just the offset of the cross section limits that I want to look at. So I'm going to set it 75 feet on both sides of the center line, and then when I choose OK, it goes through and you can see it creating cross sections. And it's doing it every 5 feet, probably because that's the way I imported, or when I created the surface I had it at 10 feet. So then you can, if you look here, you can view these cross sections this way. You can kind of tag along here, and it's highlighting the cross section you're on by this little flashing dot here. And then you can also view cross sections this way, where you just hit the C button for cross sections, and then you can scroll up and down or scroll this way and view the cross sections. Then the last thing that you can do is you can create this volumes, and you can tell it a station limits to calculate the volume. So I can key 750 to the end, and the extents I'll use is minus 75 and 75, or just use the total width, either way, and have it do all stations, or just have it do the station limit. Choose OK. And I get this cut fill volumes report here. Down at the bottom I get this. And then if you do this volume report, it actually gives you the average end area and the volume by 10 feet in this case. And that's how you would generate the report. This report can then be saved as a PDF file. I think you can save it as an XLS file. I think that other report could be saved as a PDF as well if you wanted to put that on your plan. And so now I can go back to the 3D view again, and I can basically look at the two. If I want to look at the existing surface, I can just switch it from existing, and then again I just hit this O key and navigate around. And that's how simple it is to import our data and view it in AGTEK. Obviously, if you had a bottom mesh, you could import that as well. You could import it as a different strata type, like it could be a subgrade strata or something like that. And then you could generate the volumes, and you could actually have it calculate the volume from the existing surface to the bottom mesh, which would be closer to the cut fill volumes that we get out of design. It's as easy as that. I mean, there's also the ability to import the actual planimetrics if you wanted to see the planimetrics on top of the view. Like this is the actual 2D design. You can choose import here and tell it you're going to import it to the plan view. And then this is all the lines that make up that. Of course, they're all in here. I don't know if you can select them, you know, multiples at a time, but you would basically just have to bring them in as data lines to the design or the current view. I'm not sure exactly which one I'd bring them into, but I was mainly just trying to get in and view the surfaces and cut cross sections and generate volumes. But you can bring in PDF files and all other kind of things. So that was mainly what I wanted to record, was just the process for importing the 3D deliverables into AGTEK, and that ends this recording.